Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we will be looking into matchmaking preparations for KvK and what I do to prepare myself for KvK that will last for a whole month. And in this video, hopefully I can give you some good advice and you can use it as well. I do them personally each KvK before KvK, and I find it to be quite good. And these are like the small things that I keep in mind before I enter the KvK so I can last throughout the KvK. The first thing is save resources. I always save resources before I go into the KvK. Either I have like 80 to 90% full warehouse, as I'm going to show you guys in the game right now. And you can see here I have like 5 million, around like 500, around 480 to 500 million on average each time before entering the KvK, because I want to be able to either, if you're going to fight, as I wrote in the here, in case we're going to fight and we need to, resources to make troops or heal them, and also if there won't be any fights, I want to have alliance coins in able to buy like portals, buy a lot of other stuff, buffs for my account and stuff like that. I think that's quite important. If you come into the KvK and you're dry on resources and you plan to farm in the KvK map, I think that's gonna take a lot of time. So it's better to prepare yourself a little bit than come to the event and basically lack of resources. You can't really do much. If you fight only one time, you're probably gonna use those resources and you can't fight more after that, right? Another thing here is that I do have full training ground. The reason why I do have full training ground is basically preparing myself. You have the chronicles in the cross, and you have like personal and alliance quests as well, where you farm gnomes, where you do a lot of like stuff with your troops, maybe even fighting from the start due to the faction stuff. That can be a good thing to take it into the consideration. That's why I always have at least 80% of my training ground full in case these things happens. Sometimes if nothing happens, I'm probably gonna go through them with the farming of gnomes, especially if they're gonna be like double rewards event that you can burn 30-40% of your training ground on that as well. So at least having a lot of troops into the KvK is pretty good in case something happens. If there is nothing going on in the KvK, I think you can, burn out the troops on gnomes, bosses, and whatever you want to do, right? Now let's take a look at number 3 here. It's speed ups. I think that's one of the most important items that you should bring into the KvK, because then if you are going to fight, if you are going to do farming gnomes, I think having speed ups, as you can speed up your troops, you can speed up your healing. I think that's very important, especially in the bigger fights that are gonna last for hours. And having you can farm these speed ups outside of KvK season and actually during the KvK season as well. So I'm gonna show you guys where you can find the speed ups. So here you can find the healing speed ups in Contention of Relics shop, which is down here. And also, if you participate in the IB League or IB in general, no matter if you lose or winning, right, you will get some speed ups here as well. Also, you can buy speed ups from the Alliance shop here as well, right there, if you want that. And bubbles, that's going to be important. So yeah, there's a lot of places you can actually get the speed ups, and you need a lot of them for KvK, especially if you are in a competitive server where you have to fight pretty much, when the gates open, 3, 4, 5 days. Those days, I think you're gonna need a lot of speed ups. So yeah, speed ups, very important. You should save them up for KvK and try not to use them on something else if you can't. But if you have to, don't mind that. But then again, you might have a slower KvK. So number 5 and the last one that I'm gonna mention for my preparations video is the utilities, the buffs, the teleport and stuff like that. I think that is very important to have because the buff, of course, for the fighting and then during KvK, you have like, in KvK events where you get the purple buffs right here that gonna increase you a lot of stuff. I'm gonna show you guys in the game. And let's take a look here. So these KvK buffs are very good and they increase even more than the normal buff that we get from Norheim. So I do recommend you guys to use them in the KvK whenever you fight. Here I set up throughout 2 KvKs because I fought a lot, but I didn't overuse them, and I tried to save them for the next time in case I'm gonna use them. So you have the buffs where you get like attack troops by 5, increase attack of the troops by 5%, and then you have the special one which increase by 10%, which in my opinion is pretty good as well. It's the better one. Of course, you should always buff when you fight, and of course when you're going offline or you're not really playing. Shield is very important, especially if you are in the war zone. If you are in the zone where there are a lot of people that can attack you, shielding is very important when you are not active online. For example, when you go to sleep or when you are at work, something like that. That works pretty good as well. So you should definitely have that. And of course, the most important one here is the teleportations. You can farm the teleportations in the Mysterium. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Right here, you go into the shop, and then you can farm. As you go all the way below, you can get 10 per 2 days, I believe, which is, in my opinion, pretty good because in 1 KvK, if you're active, you're probably gonna spend at least like 30, 40, or even 50 teleports. So that's one thing to take into the consideration for you guys. I do farm them at least. I have like 50 to 70 or more per KvK in case I have to jump, because although they nerfed the jump where you have like cooldown with 20 minutes, you're still gonna have to jump back and forth all the time. And keep in mind you can farm this during KvK as well, but just to have some like, in case something happened from the get-go and you can't farm the 10 for every 2 days, then I think it's pretty good to keep the teleport numbers around like 50 to 70, maybe even 100. So you have something to, you don't have to worry about them, especially if you have low gems like I do. So yeah, is there anything else that comes to my mind right now? I don't think so. I think these are the 5 things that I find to be very, very important for me. So let's take a look. So save resources. That's very important for me because I want to be able to do a lot of stuff without to have to farm resources like from the get-go right away. And also have full training ground. I can show you guys mine in the game right now, which is the same as the picture. So I have a good decent amount, probably like 80 to 90% maxed out of my training ground. I think that is important. And then we have speed ups. I think that is also very important, and that is one of the most important stuff you basically need into the game if you want to fight continuously. And also number 5, utilities again. Yeah, so basically I did a small recap of what we went through, and I think this video should help a lot of newer people to understand like what you have to do in preparation for KvKs. Like you personally, not as an alliance or anything, but you personally have to do for KvK. I personally do them myself before each KvK matchmaking, so I know I come prepared. Even though I might lose KvK or win, doesn't matter, but I know I'm ready for it. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching this preparation video, and I hope you find it useful and helpful for your, maybe you're new to KvK or you've been playing for a while but you're not just casual player. So this video will find you helpful, but if you're a like very KvK heavy person where you're into KvK, I don't think it's gonna help you a lot because you already know this. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.